Hey everyone, this is Josh again from Adirondack Adventures. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 things that I learned after paddling my first 90 miler. As many of you know, about a month ago I paddled my first Adirondack Canoe Classic, the 90 miler. I thought it would be useful to go over some of the things that were reinforced, some of the things that I'd heard many times. I'm the type of person that lives my life very experientially. Somebody can tell me something, I'll file it away as this is what they said. I'll use that in my planning process, but until I have that experience, I'm not going to have somebody else's experience preempt mine. So this is a list of things that I know for sure after paddling solo in the 90 miler this September. First and foremost, the race is long. And the first day is long, especially. Don't underestimate the first 35 miles. Which brings me to number 2, is eat and drink as much as humanly possible. You need as many calories and as much hydration as humanly possible. Any race angel, anybody at the pit stops, anybody willing to give you a free cup of water or any water that you're not carrying on your body, take advantage of it. Carry as much as humanly possible with you. I carried a 2-liter bladder with me, and I probably could have used more. Number 3, the paddle and boat that you are using for 90 miles definitely matters. Now you'd say, Josh, who doesn't know that? Everybody knows that, right? But until you do it and you see how efficient each paddle stroke is with the paddle that you've chosen, you see how your boat is cutting through the water as other people are going past you or you're passing them, it becomes obvious that your paddle and your boat is a major contributor to making time in the 90 and getting good results. When Placid Boatworks loaned me a boat, I specifically asked him for the Osita because that is the boat that I had selected after my test paddle earlier this year, and it was the boat that I was going to take receipt of later this year. I say was because my order with Placid Boatworks has changed. I will do a specific video of that. Number 4, something I've known for a long time. I attended Plattsburgh in the 90s. I got my master's from ESF in Syracuse. I've spent tons of time in the Adirondacks, but the people in the North Country are amazing. The volunteers, the coordinators, the planners, the fans. The amount of people that are involved in this is astonishing. The amount of people that are giving their time, and there's nothing in return for them at all. It's a total give to you. I couldn't thank you guys enough. The bell ringers, the people at the pit stops, the people warning you not to trip over rocks as you're going along. The people in the North Country are amazing when they come together. Number 5, make sure your portage method is lock solid. Number 6, the flies can be absolutely brutal, and fighting them is futile. Now every time you swat at a fly, you're not making a paddle stroke, especially as a solo paddler. It's not worth fighting them, and they're gonna get you. Drafting is definitely a thing. Following closely behind another boat and even sharing some of that lead responsibility with another boat, like making a paddle buddy, is something to be considered. Because when you're just looking for a campsite in the Adirondacks and you're out on Follinsby Clear or you're paddling out on Long Pond, making time is just something you talk about doing. When you're paddling 90 miles and every paddle stroke matters, then drafting becomes a thing and should be utilized as much as possible. Your pit crew is really important and should not be considered lightly at all. I was lucky enough to have my wife and kids as my pit crew, and I couldn't have done it without them. And that brings you to the side note, is your accommodations, where you're staying, How comfortable is your pit crew? Are they hangry? Do they have to travel a lot in between days? So your accommodations and having a solid pit crew, if you consider that, then it's going to be a lot easier for you in the long run. The history and the tradition is so cool. It's like one giant extended family. I was honored to be part of that for 3 days. And like I said, it's like a 90-mile social event. And that gets me to the last thing, is that I will be back. This is addictive. I can see why people have done as many as they possibly can do, because it's fun. No, the 90-miler is in my blood. So that concludes my top 10 list of the things I learned in paddling my first 90-miler as a solo paddler. Once again, guys, thanks so much for watching Adirondack Adventures. If you like the content, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps the channel immensely. And stay tuned. There's a lot more coming.